Okay, so my ass woke up angry as fucking pissed off at the world this morning because I'm involved in something right now where I'm trying to get a ruling from the Supreme Court. Okay, I've been waiting for 5 years from a ruling from the District Court of Appeals in Atlanta on a timely fashion rule. Now, I was on probation for a crime that I didn't commit, but I got charged with burglary and dealing in stolen property. Okay, it's burglary of an occupied conveyance or structure, which was an abandoned home that was abandoned past 30 days. Basically, these people that we met that were selling drugs needed some furniture and some beds and some dressers and shit for their kids. The story we got was that they came from Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina. They were displaced, only to find out that they had all 13 of their children with them running from the law because they were responsible for murdering people in Louisiana. Now, DCF was trying to do general wellness checks on these people, and they kept leaving their house before DCF could come over and check the house, and DCF could never make contact with the people or the kids or anything because the neighbors were constantly calling DCF, so on and so forth. Well, me, being a good person that I am, really in the heart, we gave them a bunch of furniture and stuff. Gave them a television, a DVD player, a bunch of furniture, a couple dressers, a bed for themselves. It was a nice four-post bed. It had a mirror on it with fucking curtains going around it and everything. We didn't have no room for it. We already had a California king in our bedroom, and our bedroom was super small anyway. But anyway, needless to say, I gave them these things to use until they got on their feet and could afford nicer new shit. They abandoned their house and left. And me having some things going on with my ex-girlfriend because we both had an addiction to cocaine. And I was trying to get myself together because we were going through shit on our son. And basically when I realized how fucked up I made my life, I was trying to make a change and I wanted out of the relationship. So I went over to the house after it was abandoned and I took all of my shit out of the house. I took it to a consignment shop and I put it up for sale. I went back to the apartment of mine and my girlfriend at the time, my baby's mother. I took all my shit out of the apartment and I sold it to the consignment shop too. I left her with a freaking fold out bed, a coffee table, a TV, a DVD player, and dishes, and all of her clothes. I took everything that belonged to me when I came into the relationship and I left her with nothing because she took everything from me. So, after being gone for about 2 weeks, me and Jennifer decided to start talking again. We got back together. When we got back together, she talked me into getting high. I relapsed. And when I did, I found out that she had set me up with a neighbor. Well, then the cops got involved. They came to question me. I took off running from the police. They had canines on me and everything. Man, I doubled back on their dogs. I hid right there while cops were looking for me and everything. They dogs suck. That's all there is to it. Anyway, needless to say, I got arrested. I got charged of burglary and dealing in stolen property because when I told the cops on the scene, I would say, you're locking me up for taking my own shit from their place that they abandoned, that they've been gone for over 60 days now. I took all my shit back, which I had all my receipts, everything. Investigators never wanted to hear it. I turned around and said, okay, yeah, I did it, whatever. Go ahead, lock me up. I ain't never been in no trouble in my life other than a misdemeanor weed charge in New York. I mean, as a kid, I got in trouble all the time because I wasn't programmable. I couldn't be programmed by the black cube of Saturn. I couldn't be programmed by the system because I don't believe in that shit. I ain't no fucking slave. I ain't no minor. I ain't no satanic worshiper. I ain't no fucking pedophile. I ain't no scumbag. I ain't no slave. And I refuse to be treated as one. So anyway, that goes for my own family. And I hope my family catches these videos. I love my family to death. I really just wish they would wake up. I'm one of the black sheep of my family. My family hates it. You want to know why? Everybody in my family is married with children and has multi-million-dollar businesses. I, myself, and my little sister, Kimberly, who's just like me with tits, are the only two people in the family that ain't got shit and don't give a fuck about it. Why? Because we're not like them. We're not from here. We know this. We're awake. We know we're fallen, and we were sent here to live a lesson and not be all fucking about money and all this other bullshit. Do you know I've been making videos now for 4 years and have never taken a single donation? Someone donated a 1-ounce bar of pure silver with my name on it, with an eagle engraved and an American flag that says Patriot and has my name Kamikaze on it. It was given to Justin Anders to be sent to me as a gift from one of the viewers from Cannabis in Combat. Justin kept a hold of it. I told him to keep it. You know what I'm saying? I told him to keep it. And he never sent it to me because I told him, no, I don't want it. Keep it. Hold on to it. Remember me. And these people just have no clue. I keep telling y'all who I am. I keep telling you, go look at the 1996 Arecibo crop circle. It's my face. Hello? You not understand? I got let out of the void for this shit. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about no more and none of that. I'm giving you a lineup, man, of what happened with me in my life. I got held against my will for 4 years on prison after being put on an illegal probation because they treated me as a violent felony offender of special concern. When I never had a violent charge in my life until I got a domestic battery charge for punting a fucking phone book across the street and breaking a neighbor's window, which actually gave me a criminal mischief charge. Then they trespassed me from my own physical address where I receive mail, have a toothbrush, all my clothes are hanging in the closet, but they still trespass me from my own home, and I'm on the lease. How can you be trespassed from your own shit? I'm waiting. Can't trespass. And then what's funny is after I'm arrested for trespassing, listen to this. They're like, what's your release address? I gave them my address. The same address I was trespassed from. And these people are law enforcement and responsible for everyone's safety. But I had a domestic battery charge. But I was trespassed from my own residence only to be released to the same residence I was trespassed to. And when I was on probation, I was going to that address. Do you understand the kangaroo court system and the illegalities going on right now in front of your face with the former POTUS of the United States, Donald Trump? Okay, go to casemine.com. Okay, I want you to type in crime spree. All right, this is basically a case that people can use to look up and shepherdize, or basically, there it is, the word shepherdize, meaning herd in cases, to pull in, to shepherdize and connect case to case to case to bring it together underneath one accord. Okay, so under this, from what I'm seeing right now, SCOTUS just handed down a major ruling back in 2022, where it stated that any kind of robberies or any kind of crimes that happen consecutively on top of each other within a certain amount of time are considered a crime spree, which a person can only be charged with one crime under that crime spree rule. So technically, even if Donald Trump was involved in a felonious crime of forging documents or signing illegal documents or whatever, which I don't get that. I don't understand how documents being signed with your own signature can be illegal, especially when you sign each page or saying each signature is a crime. Okay, under the Supreme Court ruling, under the SCOTUS crime spree ruling from 2022, it doesn't matter whether there's a robbery, gun, or anything involved. It's a continual crime spree, so Mr. Trump could only be charged with one crime. And whatever crime that would be is what I'm trying to figure out, because even if it was a felony, it's still past 18 U.S. Code 3282, which basically states that an individual has up to 2 years on a misdemeanor to be charged for that crime, and up to 5 years for a felonious crime, but not limited to a capital offense of murder or rape. So, with that being said, the SCOTUS ruling, I mean, I could give you guys a couple of cases. Look up Moreno versus State. It is, the decision was handed down December 20th of 2019. It's the Court of Appeals, the state of, what is that, Nebraska? Then you have U.S. versus Page. Okay, and that was, the handed down date was March 5th, 2011. So that goes all the way back to 2011. You have Abdullah versus State for a continuous crime spree. A defendant may only be convicted once for a possession of a firearm during each commission of a crime. As to each individual victim, independent act, or crime charges, so proof of the former tends to lead to the proof of the latter. And then Column versus State, 281. It's Georgia. But anyway, I'm a beast at this shit. And I can tell you right now, continuous crime sprees. It doesn't matter whether he signed his name 34 times, 850 times, or 2 times, okay? Even if he didn't sign his name, which I don't believe he signed his name on them documents, you got to prove it. Where's this document at? Where is this 34-page document that you supposedly have? I mean, after all, Alvin Bragg was just on MSNBC Monday. Was it Monday or Friday? He did a press conference and said that there were 30 plus crimes in in a sealed indictment. He came right out on national television and told all of you that's what they're doing. You understand? They're trying to get you to pay attention and watch everything around you and see everything from a 726 degree view instead of 360. You're looking at things on the flat plane, guys, like this. Okay? You have to look at things like this. All directions branching every which way. You have to free think. You have to understand that you've been chosen or told for so long that you have to think on this instead of thinking on this. You're thinking on this. Start thinking on this. You feel me? Branch, breach, grab, reach, free think. Stop being programmed and told something is that it isn't. Okay? CaseMind.com. You can shepherdize a bunch of different cases on Crime Spree. Okay? What's going on right now is a very grave miscarriage of law. And these individuals are doing whatever they can, whatever they want, however they want, and no one's holding them accountable. Now, if they were to hold a competency hearing on Alvin Bragg, okay, a Feretta hearing is held when an individual deems that he's supposedly competent enough to represent himself on trial, okay? And they'll hold a hearing and ask an individual basic questions of law and understanding to see if you are mentally competent to represent yourself and have a basic understanding and a foothold in law. Now, you can file a Nelson hearing against any attorney and or state attorney or assistant state attorney that you feel or deem is not capable of their duties, and you must have grounds to be able to prove that they are incapable or competent enough to withstand the abilities to represent members of the state and or council. You have a judge right now whose daughter was involved in the Biden campaign. That's immediate grounds for discharging of the judge under the laws of change of venue, which means they would have to change the law venue to another courtroom in a different district because there is conflict of interest because of the judge's daughter being a representative of the Biden regime or the Biden candidacy party. With that being stated, Trump cannot receive a fair trial in that courtroom because of the attachments to the Biden Association and members of the Biden family. With this judge, there's a conflict of interest. That means a change of venue must be filed and agreed upon, and that venue must be changed to another secular county or divisional section of New York City, okay? Or it has to go to the next regional district court up, which would have to go to Albany, New York, to the capital of New York State. Can't be done in New York City in a borough. Has to go to the capital now because the boroughs are all corrupt. Have a good day.